And with that, chapter 11 is done. And this is actually one of the first out of two chapters that is basically almost entirely focused on, getting to know the different characters and what their thoughts are on the situation, and even a bit of like back information and whatnot. Hence, where we have these three-part conversations that I kind of mentioned in the beginning that take place during free action. Because the conversations themselves are actually so kind of info and lore heavy, I've actually just included this screenshots of them and actually didn't record the whole thing because that is, again, a lot of detailed information and can also in some cases be considered spoilerish, which I'm trying to keep this to a minimum. Obviously, there's certain spoilers I can't avoid because I have an entire playthrough of the game, but as far as the info, I'd like that, leave it for you guys to figure out on your own. Anyway, other than that, we've got a rather tedious boss fight. Again, another boss exclusive of the Truthful Route, which is Ajulongon, or in Japanese, if you hear them transferring, they'll say the voice, same thing they have it in Japanese, which is Jinglonmon. But for English, it's Ajulongon, so either way. The thing that makes this a bit more tedious than the other ones is that, first off, there's two back-to-back fights with it, but also you don't get to use the rest of the DigiDestined team. You only get to use Gabumon, who only just recently joined the team. So, and on top, so that, along with any free Digimon that you've encountered, or recruited rather. So if you, for some reason, didn't train up Gabumon in your initial playthrough or playthroughs, or before, like during that, you're going to have a lot of trouble right now. So, yeah. Fortunately, if you lose the fight, you can go back to the map and you'll be able to train. But that's just something to keep in mind. Other than that, you can again use Earth Digimon such as Baihumon, because Ajulongmon is still weak to Earth, just like Ebanwumon beforehand. And other than that, if you manage to overcome this hurdle, it's actually at least the second time you have access to Gabumon's mega form, which is Metal Garurumon. So that'll make it slightly easier, but with the boss being in mid to possibly high 80s, you're gonna have a rough time. If you do come up on top and win, you will have access to the Ajulongmon evolution for Muse Shakumon. But other than that, that's it for Chapter 11, so let's move on to Chapter 12. And with that, chapter 12 is done. Not as much going on here, although brief synopsis of what's going on in this chapter. There's a bit of, when they get back to school, there's like a bit of a ghost scare, so, crazy things happen. Kids get freaked out. Some of the Digimon actually start disappearing. And I'm not going to say exactly what happened, but towards the end of the chapter, you find out where they went, why they are missing, and that ultimately leads into a boss fight with the fourth sovereign monster from the Truthful Route is Zhu Xiaomon, or Zhu Xiaomon. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, and frankly, neither is the internet. Google Translate gave me two different results, so if I mispronounce it, my apologies. Other than that, we've got a regular, another similar boss fight against, sovereign monsters. The only difference this time is that you can use your full team. There is no restriction like the last fight. So on that, yeah, another team that is weak to, like, I forget exactly what its weaknesses are. I believe it's mostly water and earth. It's a fire Digimon. So yeah, bring those kinds of Digimon with you, and you should be all good. Other than that, if you manage to defeat Zhu Xiaomon, you will access it. Then you'll access its evolution for Minoru's Falcomon. That's it for the current chapter, although there was one thing you want to make sure you focus on, especially if you're playing along with this video. You want to make sure that you have everyone's affinity around the mid, if not high 80s. As you can see, I've got everyone at that point. And the reason for that, and I'll give a slight spoiler for that, just because they're going to be one more series of three-part conversations taking place at the start of the next chapter. And so you want to make sure you have enough points to possibly get to 100. So, yeah, just want to mention that up front. And speaking of which, we're finished with chapter 12, so let's head on to the elusive chapter 13.